Hi, y'all. Okay, as promised, I will talk about discipline today. I am willing to put it out there. You can criticize me. I'm okay with that. Y'all, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for joining. Kim, I knew you'd be back because I promised. So if you've got a specific question, girlfriend, you just go ahead and type it in there. But you know, I think the biggest mistake is that people, number one, do not, trust me, it's a tough topic. Number one, people do not establish the fact that you are the authority. And so that's where the problem really comes. And so whenever we are disciplining our children, it's got to be from the understanding of one, that you're the authority, and two, that you are, you're the parent. Oh, you like my necklace? Good, that's that heaven necklace. So y'all, correction without relationship, or rules without relationship just creates rebellion. So you don't ever want to have the rules or the correction without the relationship. There you go, TrinaTitusLozano.com, Lozano, but thanks, Jennifer. So rules without relationship breeds rebellion. So be sure that there's a good foundation of relationship, and the relationship remains throughout the discipline. Now let me tell you what's going on here is you've got to think as discipline as discipleship. Discipleship is training, it is teaching, it is leading. So when you are a leader, you've got little followers, your little kids, all your little kidlets, okay? In my house today, I've got 4 followers. I've got 4 kids, 4 and under. And, so we've got, but in order for them to be well disciplined today and to be in an atmosphere of love and peace in my home, then there's got to be a leader. And you know what? I'm the leader. I'm in charge. There's no question about that. It's Nina's house and Nina's the leader. And I don't even have to make announcements like I'm in charge or I'm the leader. But sometimes I do, if it ever comes into question, sometimes I do. So it takes a lot of creative, I'm going to say leadership, right? And I was able to go to the grocery store today and have 2 kids in the car. The way that I did that is I took the leadership to say, okay, so when we get to the store, when we get to Walmart, Liam's gonna sit in the front of the cart, and Brielle, you're gonna sit in the back, and you're gonna hold on tight because Nina goes pretty fast. You're gonna sit down and hold on. Okay, there's that leadership. So I'm telling them in advance what I'm going to do. Okay, she was ready. Yes, the store can be like the worst time. She was ready to do that. Okay, because I took the leadership. So as far as like being a disciplinarian, that didn't need to happen because I took the leadership. And then so she's my little disciple, right? She's following along, even as a 4-year-old. So we go and we get what we need to get, just what's on the list. They can hold the list for you. They can see just what's on the list. You get just what's on the list. Well, if there comes a time whenever they want something and you have to say no and they cannot handle that, that's when you get quieter. You get on their level and you say, Nina said no, not this time. Let's take a picture of it and let's plan a time when you can do this. We're gonna come back and get it, but let's plan a time. So when you get on their level, when they feel heard, it's not just a yes and no. There's not just a power struggle there. It's not like, what form of discipline do you choose? I choose leadership form of discipline. That's the kind of form of discipline I choose. There's not gonna be a necessity for a spanking or for a timeout or for yelling or whatever. It's just not going to happen because I have said, pictures are the best. There you go. Kim, that's a great idea. Put a picture about what you're going to buy. That's perfect. Before they read, they can follow those pictures. And they can, take pictures at the store of what you want, and then they can create a list, and when you're doing a reward system, they can work for things. But the bottom line is when you have established your leadership and they are your little disciples, you're just not going to have that power struggle because you're not entering into the power struggle. So at lunchtime today, same thing. I'm making lunch. Guess what we're having for lunch today? That's me taking leadership. I did not ask them a question, y'all. I never ask kids questions. I just don't do it. I don't ask them a question. There's nothing for them to, I don't need to ask them a question. They don't have an answer that I don't already know. I've already decided what they're eating for lunch, so I'm not going to ask them what they want. I've already decided what they're drinking, so I'm not going to ask them what they want. Now, sometimes they ask me, and then I get to respond one way or the other. You know what? I know that this is where it's controversial. Some people say it's good to give choices. I rarely give little kids choices. You know, it's just they don't really have the capacity. They don't really need to make a choice. They don't need to decide. Their frontal lobe is not developed. So I don't do it. And that's how I save a lot of conflict, is I don't give the kids the choices. I just don't. You know, what they want to eat, what they want to drink, what they want to wear. I just think that there's more love. There's more peace. Yeah, it might sound like that, but you know what? It's leadership, and it's what really makes things, it's what keeps things where there is peace and order and leadership. And, you know, I know what's in their best interest. A 2-year-old doesn't know what's in their best interest. They think that eating candy is in their best interest. Well, what helps with fighting siblings, because I was very, very strict about this, my kids were not allowed to fight, is I would determine how much time they could be together. Like, okay, it's playtime and it's group playtime, which I would be involved in. And then, you know, when I would walk out of the room, say to answer the phone or to go to the bathroom or anything like that, as soon as there's a squabble, you know, I would break it up. But usually I would say in advance, again, I would take the leadership of saying, Brandon, mommy needs to go to the bathroom. Brooke's gonna be playing with you. Brooke, you're the older. So since you're the older child, you make sure that there's no fighting. You make sure that you share with your little brother. Mommy's going to potty, I'll be right back. And I'm listening. So, you know, I would never let go of the leadership. And that's the importance of discipleship, is you have to see yourself as the teacher. So that you'll have little followers, you have little students. You are teaching and training your kids all day, every day. You know, if there needs to be a correction because your child just digs in their heels and they're just like, you know, and they get that real rebellion about them, I take them up and remove them from the situation immediately. Okay? So it is work, it's a commitment, but so if they did fight, I say I'm in the bathroom and I hear that going on, Kim, I would get up, say I'm always listening. I would get up and I would remove them immediately. By the hand, just, I don't say a word, y'all. I would not yell, I wouldn't say a word. I would just come in and remove them. Grab Brooke's hand, Brandon's hand. Brooke, I would march her into her room. I march Brandon to his room and I say, I'll be right back. Okay? So they stay in their room. Now, I haven't said anything about a timeout, and I myself am just making a decision of what I want to do. So immediately I get them, immediately I march them into their room, okay? I put her in her room, I put Brandon in his room, and I say, I will be back in a minute. And then walk away and close the door. And I would walk away, and who knows, I might leave them there. Time enough for me to catch my breath. Time enough for me to decide, how do I want to handle this? You know, what was it really about? Is it really, you know, what's going on? Because really I would need a little bit of a time to think about it so I can respond rather than react to the situation. And then I would think about, was it really Brooke's fault? Was it really Brandon's fault? Do I want to hold Brooke more responsible because was there any direct disobedience, or do they just need a break from each other? You know, so I might just go into each of their rooms and give them a good talking to, or separately. Or I might go in there, you react more than respond. See, and that's, think about if you have a medication, you want the medication, you want your body to respond well to the medication. That will bring healing. You don't want your body to have a reaction to the medication. That means it's negative, right? So that reaction is going to be a negative thing, but the response brings healing. So, you know, I would march them to the rooms, and then I would think about it. Okay, what needs to happen? You know, and there's times that I would grab the wooden spoon. Here's where it gets controversial, and I would go in and I would say, Brandon, you're getting one spank because you bit your sister. Well, he never actually did that, but I had a grandchild that did it to another one. You know, something really, really serious. You're getting one spank for that. You know, so I would tell him, and then when we're done, you're going to have an opportunity to make this right. But you have to know you are not allowed to bite your sister, ever. I don't bite you, you don't bite her, and no one else is ever allowed to bite you either. Mommy loves you, and I make sure that our home is a safe environment. So because I love you, you're not allowed to do that. You're getting one spank. You know, so I would just, you know, turn them over on my lap, and with a wooden spoon, I would never do it with my hands. I just wouldn't want the confusion. It's not hitting. This is discipline, corporal punishment. One swat. And I would say, okay, I'll be back. You stay here and you think about what you did. I'll be back. I would walk away. I would go into Brooke's room and say, Brooke, here's the deal. You are older, and I need you to show a little maturity here. I need you to be responsible. So if you find that what you're doing is irritating your brother, then you need to walk away. If mommy's not there, you need to walk away, okay? Because if a situation is escalating, you're smart enough that you can run away. Don't let him bite you. You run away, okay? And let me tell you something. If you have a problem, you come to mommy immediately. So I might just give her that sort of a talking to. Now, if a situation was reversed and she was responsible, or if she had said something different, same thing, one swat, and that would be it. And then I would exit and say, I'll be back. Then I would leave the room, and then I would go back, and I come back in, and I say, what do you say? And they would usually say, Mommy, I'm so sorry, or, I would say, that's right. And I would always say this, what did you do wrong? Why did you get spanked? Children that are not mine, a child was bullying my child. Well, it depends on the situation. If it's, I always teach my child to take personal responsibility for their own safety. So I would have them tell an adult, because there's always adults around. Kids are never without an adult. You have 6-year-old twins, and often their friends pick one or the other and treat the other bad. Yeah, I would not let them play without your supervision, just to make sure that you monitor the way people are treating your child. And if someone is, you're the babysitter, then you monitor that. And I would separate all the kids that aren't behaving. And if you're babysitting and a child is mistreating your child, then I wouldn't let that kid play with my kids anymore. So I would say you're going to have to get another babysitter. So you have to really monitor that. It's really important relationally for your kids to always feel safe. Safety is a key ingredient to relationships. So we want to have a good relationship. We want to have a good connection. We want to have a good parent-child connection. We want to have a good sibling connection. So safety has to be disciplined. So that's the way that I would do it. And then when I would re-enter their room, I would say, Brandon, why did mommy spank you? He would say, because I bit Brooke. Because I bit Brooke. Yes, there are lots of alternatives to spanking. Yeah, it's a rare thing. But if it's a big deal, like that, like biting, what did you do wrong? I bit my sister. That's right. Do you promise you will never do that again? Yes. Is that why you got a spanking? Yes, that's right. You will never do that again. Son, I am sure that you will never do that again. Are you sure you'll never do that again? I'm sure, Mommy, I will never do that again. Okay, I forgive you. Now let's go talk to Brooke. Go in there, talk to Brooke. I'm so sorry. I will never do that again. There's got to be some brokenness. For repentance to really be there, it means that they take full responsibility. As soon as they're like saying, that wasn't my fault, it wasn't my fault, it was their fault, they've got to do that. Spanking is a rare thing. It is a rare thing. And it's one swat for one reason. And that's it. And it's rare, but it's important sometimes. It is important sometimes, but it's not important very often, and it's rare. Most of the time, you can seriously, with your leadership ability and with you being a really good teacher and a good leader and with you being the authority, you can pretty much just say, no, I said no, stop, or you put your hands in your pockets. That's what I used to say. If my kids were touching each other or bothering each other in the back seat of the car, whatever, put your hands in your pockets. So tell them what to do. Instead of saying stop hitting or don't hit each other, I'm telling them what to do with their hands. Put your hands in your pocket or sit on your hands. Something like that. So I'm being very proactive. So being proactive and not reactive, really thinking about what you want to teach your child, how you want to train your child. But always maintain a place of peace and love in your home and in your atmosphere, in your car. Parenting books I love, and you can even listen to YouTube. I love Dr. Kevin Leman. He's incredible. I do love Dr. James Dobson. That's from back on the school. So those two would probably be my favorite, Kevin Leman and James Dobson. There's a Canadian psychiatrist. Her name is Jennifer Kalari, and I really like her too. Reacts by kicking or hitting for no seemingly good reason, and spanking hasn't worked because you're too weak with a spoon on his booty. Okay, Kim, I don't know. Is he hitting and kicking you or his siblings? I'm not sure what it is. who he is. You know, there's a relationship problem, his sibling. Okay, so is this your older child or a younger one? Do they have good communication skills? Because I would really like to know why. You know, why is he acting it out? You know, like an actor, when an actor is acting, they're trying to tell you something. And so you know, as the audience, you're just like, what are they trying to tell me? I want to figure it out. So as a parent, if your child is acting out and different forms of discipline have not really worked, you're older to the younger. He does not handle his emotions well. Okay. Yeah, so I would like to know what is it relationally that he is really missing. See if you can spend more one-on-one time with him. Maybe he's acting out because he wants more one-on-one time. You know, but try to figure out. Spend some one-on-one time with him. Maybe let him stay up later. Maybe let him nap at different times, or take him on dates, or take him on, you know, whatever. Spend one-on-one time with me. Even call it one-on-one time. When I had a child that was really acting out, I was saying, God help me, I don't know what to do. Did you feel like that? Good, Kim. Well, that's confirmation then. When I didn't know what to do with one of my child, I was praying about, and the Lord says she needs more time with you. So that was Brittany at the time. She was in 6th grade, and I was like, what is going on? I found myself yelling at her every day because she wasn't doing her homework. She was super distracted at school. I was like, what is going on with her? And so I was praying about it, and the Lord says she needs more time with you. So, you know, she was sort of that middle child. I had the older two, and then I had my baby. Everything was going smooth with them, and then she was like always, if there was any sibling rivalry, it was her that was in the middle of it. She was always causing the problem, and she was also not getting good grades at school. She wasn't doing her homework. I was yelling at her, and I was like, okay, what is the deal? What's really happening here? And the Lord told me she needs more time. So I actually took her out, and I just homeschooled just her for the following year, so that she and I could have all day, every day with just the two of us, and it solved the problem. It transformed her life. Now, it's the only time I ever homeschooled, and I only did it that year to establish the relationship. Because remember, rules without relationship breeds rebellion. So in order to have the really connectedness that you need, it takes more than just correction. It takes connection. So see if you can establish a relationship with him. Listen to Jennifer Kolari, Kolari. You can rewind the Periscope if you need to. Kolari. She has a great YouTube. She's a Canadian psychologist. You think that's why your kids act up? 6 kids, 373. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Kim. That is her name. Watch a YouTube video that she has. She has a parenting technique called Calm, and it's really great. And I totally recommend it. And I talked about it a little bit. She does a lot of mirroring, so she'll mirror back their emotions, you know, to them. But she's really, really big on being their frontal lobe. Be the leader, you know, establish what you need to establish, you know, make them do what they need to do, but empathize with them and figure out what it is they're feeling to really deepen that relationship. She's excellent. So listen to her. So those are my favorites, Jennifer Kolari, and I do like Kevin Lehman and James Dobson. So there's a little bit of a variety for you. But God bless you guys. Thank you for just being interested in learning more. I think it's great. Now I'm in this grandparenting season of my life with 4 kids and 3 married, and now 9 grandkids and 1 on the way. It's great, but I'm actually getting better at my skills as I go along. The older I get, the better I get at really connecting with kids and really training them. So whatever I figured out, I'll pass along to y'all. So God bless you, and thanks so much for being here. Remember, you're the leader. Discipleship, you're the leader. Be the leader, okay? Lead with a smile, because love and peace and relationship is at the foundation of everything. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.